We have the 25th anniversary of Sonic coming out 25 years ago in 1991. Sonic, that lovable blue hedgehog.
And how he grew up and went so wrong. He started out as such a cute little child.
You can nurture him, you do what you can, you put him in a decent school, but at the end of the day, you let him fly away and see what happens.
They're smoking in the boys' room, and the next thing you know, they're doing juvie time.
Do you remember what your experience playing Sonic the first time?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. Let's focus on the good times. I remember seeing Sonic the Hedgehog running on a display in a computer store right as it came out. It seemed like they were putting a lot of stock into it, and I saw Spring Hill Zone, and immediately I looked at my mom and I was like, please? And she was like, no, fucking course not. So my brother and I raked leaves all fall, and the first system we bought ourselves was a Sega Genesis and Sonic the Hedgehog. And it's all I did for an entire summer. And it was a fantastic, fantastic game. I mean, it was pretty looking. It was fast. There was good, platforming segments. And I don't know that some aspects of it hold up super well over time, but it was very impressive when it came out, and it's still a lot of fun. Sonic 2 is like probably the pinnacle of the series for most people. Sonic 3 and Knuckles is my absolute favorite platforming game of all time outside of DuckTales. I love the damn thing. And then we fall upon some dark times.
All right, well, my experience, so I was at my friend's Kevin's house, who was the first kid I knew who had Nintendo.
Was he an asshole? Because I had a friend Kevin too, and he was a dick.
He turned out to be a dick. He'd be one of those friends that you hang out with him, I don't know, like 3 times a week, and then you find out he talks shit about you behind your back.
Yo, that's my Kevin too.
To his his higher, more important tier of friends. So apparently I was the lower tier of friends.
I was real low tier.
Was he maybe it's the same Kevin? Maybe he just sort of cloned out to different parts of the country.
I was like Dan from Street Fighter tier to this Kevin. Yeah. I was no good.
So he had Genesis, I did not, and he got Sonic when I guess a lot of people did. A lot of people just waited until it became a pack-in later on in 90. Mm-hmm. Excuse me, later in 91 to get it. Because remember, Altered Beast was the packing game for the first, year and a half.
Wise from your mediocrity.
Yes. So that helped the Genesis so much because before then the Genesis was selling. But once you get Sonic in there, it's like now we have something.
Blast processing.
Yeah, blast that processing, whatever that actually means. Sonic's important, not just because it's a good game. It's an iconic mascot to rival Mario at the time.
And it launched a whole slew of mascot game imitators, and so many of them: Rocky Rodent, Zero the Kamikaze,
Crash Bandicoot. I don't understand the love for Crash at all. I heard a woot. I don't know why, but Sonic was a legit badass marketing mascot.
Oh yeah, he had a lot of attitude.
He was like the sort of now we're a teenage video game fans. We're not kiddie Nintendo fans anymore.
You want to play around with a fat fucking plumber? I got fucking fast shoes. You want
But that was basically how they marketed it.
Yeah.
On the commercials, they showed show the shitty Nintendo game. Now you show the Sega Genesis, and now you've gone through video game puberty, and that's what Sonic represented.
Yeah.
It basically did. Looking back, was it cheesy? Yeah, probably. Because you don't have an equivalent now where it's because we love Mario games and we love Nintendo products, and we don't think of it being as childish. It's just classic to us now. But
Sonic was your first beer behind the water tower.
You think so? Yes. Your first pull on the cigarette?
Yeah, exactly.
Before you started massively coughing, which would probably be the 32X, I think. Save the CD.
Gold material.
Thanks, I get your approval. So I never was a huge fan of Sonic, just because I don't like the on rails portions of the game, because the whole game is staggered. It's you have to run around and watch a 15-second cutscene basically in the level.
So I look at it differently. You go through a bunch of bullshit hard stuff, and then you get this freedom rush of just craziness. And it's not on rails. That's how you find most of the secrets, is you have to know when you jump and shit. When you're going super fast, so you get the
Sure.
little triangles of rings and stuff.
Okay, it's on rails. We're on the roller coaster parts and things of that nature. When they started to add the corkscrew stuff and things of that nature.
It looks neat.
It looks neat. It does look neat. Not saying it's not a bad game. It just never was for me. And so that was when a lot more kids got the Sega Genesis, and it went neck and neck with the Super Nintendo. You know, fighting out in the heralded 16-bit console wars. A lot of 13-year-olds' lives were lost in that war.
A lot of scratchy fonts stating what Nintendo doesn't do.
Yeah, a lot of casualties.
I got that wrong.
Nintendo doesn't do.
What Nintendo can't.
Yes, that was the first round of marketing inside the Sega of America. Nintendo doesn't do, or Nintendo. I think that's what we want to go with. It rolls off the tongue better. Any other thoughts they have? They're releasing they're going to announce a new game like next month. I don't know why. They chose the anniversary to announce an announcement for the game. It's like those pre-teasers you see where it's like 3 seconds of a movie teaser.
Sonic in the Downward Spiral. He's
Yes.
like Trent Reznor. He's
Yeah.
gonna have the fishnets on his arm.
But they have a humble bundle out. Not that this is an advertisement, but they do have a Sonic. It's $167 worth of awesome stuff, including the original Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Adventure DX, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic CD, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing, Sonic 2, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Lost World, what? Is that Jurassic Park? No. Sonic Generations, Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, and Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed. What is that game? I do not want to know.
It's like Mario Kart.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's actually really good.
Okay. And Sonic is leading from behind there. I just thought it was funny that the Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter account took a shot at Monday number 9. Did you guys see that?
That's funny.
Our pal Chris Kohler did a really great Photoshop of a 3DS game called Sonic in the Glass House.
Yes. Yeah. That's a little, I mean, Ian says he likes that Sonic account. That's a little bit close to the edge. When you start attacking the misfortunes of rival competitors that openly, it's like, yeah, that's how you were back in the early 90s. Sega itself, but now, Sega, you're not where you were 25 years ago.
He's hit rock bottom. Just let him sling shit. No one cares.
All right, so you gonna get this humble bundle at all, Ian?
No.
No, okay. Moving on then.